excited because today I'm going to show you how to do a really quick, simple Christmas wreath. What we're going to use today is a dried flower bunch that was a fresh flower dried bunch. We've hung it upside down and dried it out. We're going to use that in the little Christmas wreath. We've got these beautiful little natural forming wreaths. I love them. They're perfect size, not too big, not too small. And then I've got some groovy tartan ribbon. I'm going to fix that to the bottom and I start singing jingle bells. Now I hope you're going to enjoy this. Let's get on with it. So first of all, we're just going to grab our spool of wire. This is how what we're going to use to fasten the bits and pieces of dry flowers onto the wreath. So I'm just going to turn it to see which shape because it's a natural product. They're not perfect. So just find out the shape that you want it to. I'm going to take that way. It's a little bit more oval. It'll give me a little bit more depth up the side and that's going to work better for me in the overall. So first of all, I'm going to grab a little bit of the leucadendron that we have. Lay it down, clean up the bottom. I've got a little leucadendron that's sitting here, so I'm going to turn it around because that's going to push it off the wreath. If I lay it that way, it's going to sit too high. So work with the flowers that you've got. Lay the leucadendron nicely down, trim off his little bit of the stem, grab your wire, and then start the game. So just fasten your wire round and round and round and twist it in on itself and it will secure that leucadendron in place. So it's just going around it on each other. It's going to have a little bit of a tail. You can cut that off later so you don't see you're working. Then we grab the wire spool, go in between the stems of the leuc, and up we go, nice and firm. And we just go around like that and then back down to the stem because we're going to fasten another flower on here. Okay. Next I'm going to use this beautiful little banksia that we got given. You can see all the foliage is covering up the flower. I don't want that. Pick off the foliage that's going to display the flower. So just don't throw this away. You can use that later. So just click off your foliage here. So your flower is visible. Take off one off the back because you don't want it sitting out too high. And that's that. I'm going to lie that down there. And weave it in. Still got a little bit too much foliage on this side for my liking. Each to his own. Going to weave that one in just onto it right there. Cut it to the length that you want. Get your wire once again, and very firmly, because these are quite a little bit heavier than say a beautiful little blushing bride or anything, and just secure that straight on to the wreath. You won't see the workings of this wire. It's super thin. It's only a 26 gauge and it's on a spiel. That's how it comes. You can purchase that any craft shop anywhere. So good. Holding that quite firm in your hand and just spinning that around. Now we're ready for the next layer. Beautiful. We've got this beautiful little gum nut that came in the bunch. I'm going to trim that down. Pluck off the leaves that I know I don't want. I even might cut it down a little bit further actually, just so I've got no wily bits hanging out anywhere. I'm just going to place that on there, and once again with the wire, go round and round and round she goes. That is so secure. I can chuck that around, that's not going anywhere. That wire is superb. If you haven't got any, go buy some, it's excellent. Now, next thing we're going to do, we're going to see what we're starting to look at. I'm going to have a little bulk arrangement here. I'm going to have a beautiful little ribbon at the bottom. So I need to start filling it out at the bottom. And then we're starting to look pretty good, guys. I'm going to grab some of the wheat. That's a fantastic texture. I love using wheat. I'm just going to pop that in. Just here. I think that's going to look really nice there. Cut off the lengths that we don't want. I'm going to trim these right down in a minute to when I don't need them anymore. So once again, round she goes. Now let's see what else we've got to work with. Got a little beautiful menzii nut. I think that's going to look superb right there. I've got a little hot glue gun. This is because I don't want the stem too long on this. I'm going to actually also glue that into place a little bit just to make it a little bit more secure. Stem's really strong, so I'm going to get my big boy pants on and start hacking at it. think that's starting to look really nice. Glue that to this part here to help secure it a little bit more. It's probably just for my purpose and not much of the, there we go. My glue gun. Push the little glue down. And then I'm just going to hold that into place. And with the wire once again, just bring it round in on itself. And that's not going to go. Now down the bottom here, I don't want to put too much in. I just want to finish it off nice and natural. It is natural after all. Doesn't need to be too perfect and pretty, otherwise nobody likes it like that. So I think that's going to be perfect in that spot right there. It's going to cover up some of my stems. I'm going to cut that to the right size. Start cutting these down to the right size now that we know what we're working with. Use the, this foliage is fantastic. Holding that there, holding it with your thumb at the front, your wire at there, hold it under your thumb, round the back, up in on itself, and then twist on it. Twist, and nice and firm, that's not going to move. Okay, so next up I'm just going to secure that last piece of wire, and then I'm going to work on my bow that's going to be on the bottom of that beautiful door wreath. Now, Christmas is coming up. Why not start making these for yourselves? Giving a present that you've made to somebody is fantastic. It's always something that's always kept. Everything that somebody's always made and given to me, I've kept always, especially for Christmas. I roll it out every year. And it's really nice to put a little date somewhere. You could write on one of the back of the leaves the year that they gave it to you and who it was, so you'll always remember who made you that beautiful keepsake. Okay, so that's all nice and secure. Now I've got this gorgeous tartan ribbon. I'm a little bit mad for it at the moment. I'm going to go for the tartan, and I'm going to use a little bit of this beautiful raffia. So making a bow is quite easy. So I'm just going to hold my hand out flat, put the tail in my hand so it's sticking out the bottom. I know I want it to be probably a little bit like maybe 10 centimetres to 15 centimetres longer than my hand. And then at my thumb and my finger, I'm going to pinch, and then I'm going to twist the ribbon so it's tied in like in a knot, like a little twist there. Then I'm going to bring it over the top, get some length so you can work with it, over the top, and just make a little loop. At the back and the thumb, you're pinching in the exact same spot that you started with, and then you twist your ribbon to come out the other side. Then we're going to, you're going to make sure you don't make the bow too big. It needs to be in proportion to your wreath. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't dominate the wreath, it just highlights it. So under the thumb and forefinger again, pinch, twist, turn, and then just repeat. Twist, turn, twist, turn. And if it's not perfect, don't stress out about it, because you can fluff it out later. Just don't lose that grip. If you lose that grip there, that's when it gets a little bit flat. So keep that nice and tight. And that's that. So you can fluff out and do that. Once it's on there, you can do what you need to do. I need the raffia. And I need some scissors. And I will cut that all off. So the raffia, just feed through the hoop. You're still holding with your, pinching with your thumb and your forefinger. So down, this raffia is going to act like what you were doing with your thumb and your forefinger. Hold it under your thumb again. And then just tie it in a knot at the back. In the old days you were allowed to use your teeth, but it's Corona time, so you've got to be more inventive. Beautiful. So, this is fun. Hopefully she's sharp enough. Beautiful. And then we can make it to the right length exactly when you're happy with the length and how much trail you want from it. There's some fantastic ribbons, there's some fantastic stuff coming out at the moment. Love, love, love all of it. Now, if you want to come in closer now, so just over the workings of your product there, you're just going to tie that bow so nicely just on the bottom. You're going to tie it firmly. Wrap it around on itself at the back and then bring it back up to the front. And twist it at the back, bring it down under the bow, avoiding the stems, and then just tie it off under here. And you know it's not going anywhere, it's so secure. That's it. 1, 2, good as new. So I actually like the raffia as the tail as well. So that's a beautiful little door hanging wreath for your Christmas this year. 2020 is not all bad. It's going to be fantastic and it's going to end the right way. So get into it. I hope you have fun doing this, using your hands, being creative, playing with flowers. It's absolutely therapeutic. It's so good for your soul. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a Merry Christmas.